Good day, everybody. It's Mr. Villa. I hope everybody's feeling fantastic. It's really great to be getting back into the groove of things. We've got the beginning of the year. Compliments of the new year to everybody and to you too, Trish.
Thank you, and to you.
Thank you for opening your doors today.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So, Trish is a broker specialist from, if you
MRB
could please
Financial
take it away,
Services.
MRB Financial Services.
Yes.
What does the MRB stand for again?
It's actually my husband's initials.
Oh, wow.
He started the brokerage many, many years ago.
Great.
And his initials are MR.
MR,
And the
yes.
surname is Bartholomew, so it's his
Yes.
initials
Okay.
and the financial services, because he is a financial advisor as well.
That's great. So, how long have you guys been working together?
I joined him in 2000
Wow.
and then started the short-term arm of the business in 2004.
Okay,
So
that's
it's been
awesome.
going that long, yes.
I'm sure it's something spectacular to be able to work with your husband in that way.
It really is, because it helps us understand each other's businesses. We can also pass referrals to each other.
Yes.
And also when the stresses are at a high level, we understand
Yes.
each other, why we're feeling like that. So it works really, really well.
Okay, no, that's really awesome. Thank you very much, Trish. As you guys know, it's really always about just providing value to our listeners and viewers. So thank you for tuning in. And just today, what I would like to ask you, Trish, what's crucial about actually having a broker for insurance products and so forth?
That's a great question, Piwa, and one I really like to expand on. Professional broker is trained and has experience to give advice and guidance that's invaluable to the clients to ensure that their policy has a correct cover for them, especially if it's a business policy. Businesses that go out there, they don't understand insurance, and even individuals, and they get a policy put in place maybe with a direct insurer, and they're not given the correct advice, and end up paying for cover that they maybe don't need or that they don't have on the policy, which they really should have. And also the benefit of having a broker is that an independent broker such as ourselves, so in other words, we're not tied to one particular insurance company.
Okay.
We have a number of insurers that we work with. And these insurers offer specialist niche policies for different types of businesses. So in other words, not every business should have a standard commercial policy. And I'll give you an example of some. Your medical practitioners, restaurant owners, shuttle services or tour operators, driving schools, and even your high net worth private clients. These are, to name just a few of the niche policies that we can offer to, as an independent broker, to the specialist kind of business.
Oh yes, okay, I understand. And I mean, there's so many various industries. For instance, logistics, you'd probably be expecting to have more human labor than maybe an IT company.
Exactly.
Oh, right.
Yes.
So I guess there's quite a lot to talk about with that. And I guess what does pique my interest as I'm a real estate agent as well is understanding the types of insurances for a homeowner per se. What would one need to look into for those?
For a homeowner specifically, I would highly recommend that they insure their building. And being a homeowner, they own that home. So to insure the building and to insure the contents. And Piwa, at the moment there are so many fires taking place, houses burning down, flats catching fire and burning down.
Yeah.
And could you imagine if you didn't have your property or your possessions, which is your contents, insured, how that could set you back financially?
Definitely.
I mean, you could go back to zero, start again. And if you're at retirement age and that happens, people often try and not insure, especially contents, because they can't afford it.
Eesh.
But for a homeowner, I would suggest it's essential to have cover for your building and your contents, but you can keep the premium down by excluding burglary cover, if you would like.
Oh, yes.
You see, because when you have a burglary, they don't take your whole house, all your contents. They take certain items.
Yes.
And your property might be a bit damaged, a security gate broken or something like that. So if you took cover for all the insured events except burglary, that would help reduce your premium.
Wow.
So that's a good way of making sure that your possessions and property is insured against the major insured events like storm, flood, fire.
And I guess that's something you would hear from a broker specialist instead of like a call center sales agent.
Exactly.
From the company directly.
Yeah, that's right. And that's where we're giving that individual advice. And we get to know our clients personally. So we can chat with them, you know, as to, is it an affordability problem? And then we can offer them ways to overcome that affordability problem.
Okay, and I mean, I guess it can just go so niche with these, you know, content cover. I remember at one of our meetings you mentioned, like for your jewelry and
yes,
things like
yes, that can be very niche because a lot of people inherit jewelry, or when their child is born, they have specific kind of jewelry that is given to that baby, and it's worth a lot of money, but their jewelry is perhaps not worn. So we have a niche policy where they can insure their jewelry for, in other words, it's not covered when they're out and about, but it's covered when it's kept in a safe or in a deposit box at the bank.
At the bank. Oh,
and because
yes.
it's not worn, the premium is far less. So if you've got jewelry worth about R1 million, you can get it insured for, you know, so imagine if your house caught fire and you've got R1 million worth of jewelry sitting in your safe, all right? You can insure it just for it being in the safe and not being worn, so the premium is a lot lower.
Okay, that's actually quite niche, eh?
It's very niche. Very
right,
niche.
all right.
Yes,
And
indeed.
so now I'm just thinking about somebody wanting to protect like the investment. Let's say a landlord.
Yes.
What kind of cover would you recommend for somebody that's a landlord? You know, you've got
Yeah. Oh, a landlord definitely. He would need to insure that property, the building. He might have a commercial building, he might have a block of flats, it might be an individual house. He must insure that building. So that's your property insurance.
Yes.
And against every kind of eventuality. So it's your flood, your fire, your storm, malicious damage, and even burglary, because a property can be damaged quite badly in a burglary.
In a burglary.
Yes.
Okay.
And then another thing for landlords, which I always recommend, is to ensure you have insurance for the loss of rent.
Oh yes. Please tell us more about
Yes,
that.
it's quite an interesting one, and a lot of people don't think about it. So your landlord owns a block of flats, and that building catches fire. The whole building's not destroyed, but a lot of the flats are, and those tenants now have to move out while the landlord is having that building put back, you know, to make it livable again. And during that time, those tenants are not going to want to pay him rent.
Of course, they can't.
So the insurance will provide him, it's called loss of rent, and the insurance will then pay him the rent that he would have earned from those tenants during the time that the building is being repaired.
Wow.
So that's a very big one.
That's a very big one.
Yes.
I'm very interested in knowing more about that. So with this, so there's building insurance and content insurance for that for a property. So we're covering floods, fires. I'm looking at flooding season.
Yes.
Right now.
Even wind. We had a very heavy wind this morning at 2 o'clock. And a client phoned me to say that his boundary wall had been blown over. Can you believe it? That's how bad the wind was. And because it's part of his property insurance, it's covered.
Wow.
So he has peace of mind that he can have that wall repaired, the electric fencing restored, and it'll be paid up by the insurance.
That's really awesome, Trish. Thank you. I really appreciate your time and us being able to do this. And I really hope that you listeners and viewers have really experienced some value, and Trish's contact details are on the screen if you need to consult with her with anything. If you also liked this, please can you like, share, tag somebody, comment, whatever you would like us to improve on or be able to actually further discuss with Trish. Thank you so much, guys. Stay awesome.